unanimity is the principle in which highlights the togetherness of you and your prospects, right? The being one of the same thing. To put yourself on the same side together. Remember when we were younger, those middle school gymnasium dances? Without fail, you could turn your head left to see the nervous boys playing, the cool boys high-fiving, or turn your head right to see the various circles of Barbie girls and Gothic girls. Groups of boys who would have never otherwise found shelter in being with each other. Like Michael talking about math with Tyler, and Vinny talking history with Blake. Groups of girls who spent all lunch talking about each other, now being within each other. Like Regina complimenting Mary on her dress, or Victoria now all of a sudden realizing she's neighbors with Angela after like 10 years. Regardless of how different they were, they identified with the much larger togetherness of gender. A togetherness so overpowering that the thought of little Stephanie talking to little Johnny, who, mind you, spend every day flirting and math class together, it was like it never happened. It was not even an option when compared to the comfort of hiding alongside a gender of strangers and bullies, all because gender provided the togetherness that superseded, that math class crush. So even though it seems so childish, and it's a principle that still causes women to travel to the bathroom in packs today, and men having smokes together. In a world where men and women need each other to ensure survival, they act as oil and water in all social settings. Is it because men and women all of a sudden don't want to be near each other? No. It's that people always feel most comfortable in groups most like them. So regardless of how they feel about the individuals, the group is bigger than logic. It's instinct. So while being ethical and honest, find topics that unite you and your prospect. The deeper the passion, the stronger the principle of unanimity. Like, if your prospect goes to church every Sunday, share you do as well. If your prospect goes to Tuesday trivia nights with his family, share you do as well. If your prospect is a die-hard Giants fan, share that you're just as miserable. If your prospect is married to his high school sweetheart, share how you are as well. If your prospect is sending his children off to college, share your experiences doing so as well. If your prospect's number one hobby is whatever, so is yours. Being honest is important because by definition of this defining them, if you lie, you'll be spotted pretty quickly, right? So, honest. Conversely, if you are honest, those next few sentences of bonding over this particular unanimity will reinforce your hyperexposed affinity to each other to a critical level, subsequently causing mobilizing actions. How many times have you purchased something from someone and never once used the product? You just simply wanted to help that person. That result is strongest within this principle, as people do the most for those they feel unified with. Parent-children relationships are the ideal example, because there are parents that just hate their children, but they'll do anything for them, no matter what.